Hi everyone, and welcome to And So On Knitting Edition. My name is Lisa, and today I'm showing off my petite knit balloon cardigan. So it's been a long time since I've talked about my knitting. Honestly, my knitting sojo is gone. Knitting sojo? Knitting Joe? Is that what it's called? Has kind of gone down the tubes a little bit. Once the sun comes out, I find I'm less motivated to knit. However, because it's been so long, I do have a fair amount to show you. So the number one thing I have to show you is my balloon cardigan by Petite Knit. And I'll put in some pictures because that will give you a better idea. This has turned out pretty much exactly the way I want. I would say the only thing, I have this arranged right now, like halfway down my back so that it's a little bit higher up. If I'm wearing it normally, I don't think you could wear it without anything underneath it. The way they have it in the picture, you know, it looks very, I don't know, just looks lovely. This is much more a cardigan that you put on when you're cold, but that still has some good amount of style. And that's exactly what I wanted. That's what I was looking for. I was like, you know, when it's a chilly morning or a chilly evening, something that I can just throw on. And I do love the balloon sleeves. They've turned out really, really well. So I made this in Holstgarn, well, a couple of different things actually. So I started out with the Holstgarn Super Soft and paired it with the Holstgarn Titicaca, which is 100% alpaca. So what I did was I washed one skein of the Titicaca, no, I washed one skein of the Super Soft, washed it, dried it, hung it, and I then gauge swatched with the Titicaca. And I picked my size based on that. I did go down one needle size, as usual. This starts at the back. I think I showed you when I had it as work in progress. It starts in the back, and then you pick up from the neckband and go down. So I had all Super Soft and Titicaca all the way down. It's definitely, like, even with the alpaca in, I can wear it against my skin. I don't know that I wear it against my skin all day, but like I'm just wearing a little tank top under this, and I'm totally fine. Now, once I finished the body and I was onto the sleeves, I started to have a little bit of an issue because I had only got 2 balls of the alpaca. And I kind of knew that that probably wasn't going to be enough, but when I ordered from the Super Soft Black Friday sale, I was like, oh, I don't want to order too much and I don't know exactly what I'm making, whatever, what have you. Same old story, right? So as I started on the sleeves, what I did was I basically got to here, and that's when I started to get a little bit nervous. And so it's very funny because you can feel it as you go down. So from about here on, I started to alternate with mohair. So originally this pattern is wool and mohair, or one fingering, one mohair, or one light fingering and one mohair. I don't remember, one or the other. And so I decided to go with these 2 light fingerings. So the Super Soft Holstgarn is considered to be a light fingering, same with the Titicaca. Well, when I got to the point that I needed to turn over, I thought, well, let's add in some mohair, mostly because if I went to the Holstgarn site and just ordered one thing of the Titicaca, which is only, I think it's only like 6 or 7 euros for a good size ball, but it's 10 euro shipping. And I was like, oh, I don't want to spend 10 euros of shipping, and I don't need more yarn right now. So, and also it took quite a while the last time, probably because they were in their sale, but still. Anyway, the original version of this is made using yarn from Knitting for Olive, and I'll put them down there below. Knitting for Olive, oh, such beautiful patterns, beautiful yarns, and their shipping is included. It's included, I'll double check, but if I'm wrong, I'll put it below, but I'm pretty sure it's included worldwide. So that's sweet, right? So I'd actually done an order the day before from them, and I'll show that to you in a little bit, but I thought, well, why don't I just add one of their dusty rose colored mohairs? So a bit of a risk, but hey, I like to live on the edge. And so I emailed them and I said, because I ordered the mohair, and I said, please don't send these separately, if you can just group them together, which is what they did. And then what I did was, I'm gonna move over a little bit so I can show you. Okay, I started alternating between one row of the Super Soft with the alpaca and one row of the Super Soft with the mohair, so that I could make sure to use up all the Titicaca that I had, and also so it wouldn't be a big difference, like a very stark difference between the two. Now for the first sleeve, that was a huge pain in the butt because I was worried about running out of the super soft. I was literally only switching out the mohair and the alpaca, but keeping the same strand of super soft. That was a big pain. Like it was just, you know, the yarnography was ridiculous. And then once I got down to say about, is it easier on this side? Maybe. And then once I got down to about, like I can feel where it changes, right about here, I stopped the strand of the alpaca and I just kept stranding with the mohair. And then when I got down to the bottom to the cuff is actually one strand mohair and one strand of alpaca. So it's very, very soft. So it goes from super soft and alpaca to alternating one round super soft alpaca, super soft mohair, to super soft alpaca to, no, damn. Okay, one more time. Super soft alpaca, one strand alternating rows, super soft alpaca, super soft mohair, alpaca mohair. That's it. So those are my sleeves, and I don't think, I mean, you can see a bit of a difference on camera, especially, I guess, right there, right? Where the mohair starts coming in every other round. But that's why I alternated, because I thought if it's just every other round, it's not going to be extremely noticeable. And I think only knitters would notice that. And it's kind of nice because the lower down they get, the lighter the sleeves get, which of course is why originally it's supposed to be fingering and mohair, or merino, or whatever, wool and mohair. You can see now this is kind of coming down to more normal length. Yeah, so I feel like it lightens up as it goes down, and I would absolutely make this again. I might even size down next time, keep the same length, but size down. I got my buttons finally. These are coconut buttons. I got them from my local sewing shop, Merceria. And I basically said to her, I thought they were wood in the picture. And I was like, do you have wood buttons? And she said, wood or coconut? And I was like, oh. I said, yeah, maybe you're right. And I just sent her a picture. And so she sent them to me and I sewed them on, and yeah, all done. Okay, a couple works in progress. You'll remember I showed you this sweater. So this is the Catkins sweater by Marjana Kolzak, and I'll put in a picture first so you can see what it's supposed to look like. Now, if you'll remember, I'm doing this in Fru Valborg merino. I think it's just single merino, in this really bold color. And this pattern, oh, I don't want to dip it in my coffee. That would be bad. So you can see this very cool lace pattern, and I've steamed it out for you so you can see it better. Goes down both sides. And it's funny because it's actually very intuitive, this lace pattern. Like I actually am no longer keeping track. I have split, you can see here I've split for the front. So this is the armhole. This is actually the back now that I think about it. So I'm doing the back first, which is this lace pattern and then seed stitch and then the lace pattern on the end. I'm going back and forth, and then I will do the front. The front has these, what she calls catkins, which I looked it up. Catkins are like a pussy willow plant, and they look like this. So they're these little, can you see these? There we go. These little buds. They don't look exactly like hers, but not too bad. Not too bad. I feel, is there a hole in there? I'm sure it'll block out a little differently too. So the way I'm doing this is I've done the smallest size, and I'm gonna do it sleeveless. This yarn is really, really soft against your skin. And so I think it's gonna be a lovely little sleeveless sweater. I've, again, kind of lost steam on it a little bit, but once I finish the back, I can, cast on the front, and then really there's not much more, right? There's no sleeves, no sleeve island. But let me show you one more time this lace pattern because it's really pretty. Yeah, it's really pretty, and I think it's turned out well. So very happy with that, and I have my yarn in one of my bowls that I made in pottery class. And then I got excited about summer knitting. And like I told you, I did an order from Knitting for Olive. And I'm going to show you this work in progress. So this is it's called My Favorite Things Knitwear. And this is a tank top. I think I told you I was going to make it, but I hadn't gotten very far. So is this the front? Yes. So this is the front. I have done all but one of the sleeves or the shoulders. So that's the last shoulder going on. And then I just have to keep going back and forth to do the straps. So I'm getting there. Let me see how I can hold this so you can see it better. There. So you can see I did a better job on this side than on this side in terms of the decreases. Partly because you guys know my knitting is a little different in terms of the combination continental, and so sometimes with decreases I do have an issue for me personally just remembering how to adjust that. So it's not perfect, but I tried it on. You can see how this is so nice. Look, see how this pattern comes out as you go up. So that's good. And obviously when it's blocked, it'll be a bit better. So what happened with this was you're supposed to knit it on 3.0s. I, as usual, got a very big gauge. You can see here where I changed needles. Hopefully that'll block out. So what I did was, first of all, for the ribbing at the bottom, I actually used my 2.0s because I wanted it quite snug. And then I was doing it on the 3.0s and I just went down I just went down a size. So I went down to extra small instead of small using the 3.0s, and I just didn't like the fabric. Like I just didn't like, it just felt too loose for me. And then I was just debating. I'm like, well, I really didn't want to buy 2.5s. Like it's like I have 2.0s and 2.25s for my sock knitting, and then I have 3mm up. And the only thing I didn't have was a 2.5. And I didn't want to buy it. And then my husband, this was literally right before full lockdown, like maybe the day before. And my husband was like, there are like 3 things that you enjoy doing right now, so just buy the freaking needles. So I went on Amazon and I ordered the needles, even though they were like 12 euros for 1 year. Oh. Anyway, whatever. I ordered them. These are them. They're Knit Pros. And I do like the Knit Pro Zing, so that was fine. And now you can see, so I started that here and you can see that. Now, the only problem is I was making an extra small. And so I tried these on, and we've talked about the fact, well, if you don't watch my sewing videos, you might not know, but I've definitely put on a little COVID weight, and that's fine. But I tried this on and I was a little bit like, oh, it's kind of hugging where I don't want it to hug. Now, it's going to block out, right? And this is kind of my wearable muslin for my next one, which I might have shown this to you already. This is so this was my other order from Knitting for Olive. I can't now remember if I showed this to you last time or not, but this is beautiful silk, 100% silk. And so before I used the silk, I wanted to make sure that I liked the pattern, my gauge and everything like that, and do a bit of a muslin, wearable muslin version. So I'm sure that this will be fine to wear, but it will allow me to now have the right size to use this. Like, look how beautiful, so pretty. So yeah, so I'm going to do that in this silk next. That will be, I think, really beautiful for summer. And I know for sure that I have a ton of time to wear it. And I definitely want to order more from Knitting for Olive because it's just such beautiful yarn. And I love the shipping included option, because so often, how often do you do this where you're like, click, 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 click. Oh, no, I can't. And I have this yarn here. So I have this much left. So this pattern takes 2 of these. This is my second one right now, and I'm in really good shape. So each of these was, I think, I want to say that it works out to be a $20 tank top, I think, in the end. And then there you go. You've got this another bowl that I made in my pottery class. All I make are yarn bowls, that's all. And mugs for soup. The last thing I wanted to show you guys was my knit crate box, but my daughter has already used it all. So she taught herself to crochet, I don't know, maybe about just before Christmas. She made one kind of green sweater, and then since then she's done 2 tops. So one of them, I'll put in a picture, we got her the yarn literally just before everything closed, and we got her the white, and I obviously didn't get enough. So the yellow from the bottom is my knit crate from 2 months ago, I think. It was the one that I showed you guys the fade that I was gonna do. So now I've lost one of the colors from my fade, but honestly the bright yellow is not really me anyway, so I'm good with that. And then there was this beautiful white with blue specks that came, and she crocheted this top, and it has this really cool design. Now I think that design would go better in the back, but she likes it in the front, and we don't tell 13-year-olds things unless we really think they're important. So I let it go. And so she made that. So it's just incredible. She's made herself the cutest little tops, and I don't even know how to crochet. So it certainly has nothing to do with me. She's doing it all on her own. She finds great patterns on Pinterest, and she uses the crochet magazines from the library. And yeah, she's doing such a good job. So other than starting another camisole, I don't really have any other knitting plans right now. I do definitely want to knit a few more things for summer, some little tops and some light cover-ups and that kind of thing, but I don't really have exactly what I want to do yet. So right now I need to finish up the 2 whips that I have and start the next tank top. But I'm doing a ton of sewing, as you know, if you watch my sewing channel. So right now though, I'm just really enjoying this and enjoying the end of my sweaters before I pack them up for summer. We shall see if anything else occurs to me in the next little bit, or if I just keep knitting tank tops. Okay guys, that's all for me. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you when I see you. Take care. Bye.